Boom. Hey, everybody. Here we are.
Happy Chris and Amanda Day, Chris.
Happy Chris and Amanda Day. Amanda Sharp, how are you?
Oh, you know what? This list has got me rather exhausted. So I'm good, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little tired.
You're a little tired. This list tired you out.
This tired me out. One of my notes is it's like running a marathon, and we're probably gonna get some haters being like, "You've never wrote a marathon or ran a marathon." Like I get that, but if I did, I feel like this is how I would have felt.
Right. This is how you feel like you would have felt.
Yes.
Well,
Extreme endurance for this 6th song choice.
you had a lot of endurance, a lot of stamina,
A lot of stamina.
a lot. I like it. I was very concerned for your well-being at first because I was like, oof. Wow, this list is like jumping into the deepest end of the pool, or actually like cliff diving. Now that I think it's like cliff diving into like a lagoon.
Absolutely. So for those new to our show or even, frequent listeners, how this show normally works is Chris chooses like our 3 songs to send to me. I send 3 songs to Chris. We rate them on an amazingly complicated scale of 1 to 5 records. And typically it's a nice blend of 80s, hard rock, country, some oldies,
Some metal.
Yeah. Like, and
Punk,
Chris has
hardcore.
been accused in the past of going a little gentle with the metal.
I've held back a little bit, but honestly, not on purpose because I've just
Right.
wanted to mix it up. I didn't want to just keep
Right.
giving you lots of like metal all the time, and
For
because
sure.
I wanted to mix it up a little bit. So that's what I've been doing. However, I've thrown some gas on the fire.
Yes, you did.
These first few shows of 2022.
Yes.
And we've had some fun.
We've had lots of
We've
fun.
had some fun. But
so Chris had this brilliant idea that for $100 you can commission a show. And you get to choose all 6 songs.
we've been talking about doing that for a long time, and we are finally doing it.
Hey,
And
Chris.
we've got somebody. Thank you, Chris Roush, checking in. Love you too, brother. Yes, and so finally somebody has taken up the challenge, and they did it.
They did it.
They actually went through with it. They were crazy enough to do it, and that is Dan Christian. So we want to thank you, Dan,
Thank
for
you, Dan.
going over to our Buy Me a Coffee and being the very first person to commission an episode of the Chris and Amanda Show. And boy, oh boy, did he bring it.
He brought it.
Brought it.
And we really hope you get your money's worth out of this episode.
Yes, we do hope that you do. We have been very excited to do it. Amanda and I have been talking about how we were going to do. So it really, we're going to do the show. So once again, as Amanda explained, how we normally do the shows, we share 3 songs with each other, and then we review and react and rate them on the scale of 1 to 5 records. So in this case, instead of sharing songs with each other, Dan has shared 6 songs with us that together Amanda and I will both share our ratings of each song and reactions for each tune. So this is a new thing because we've both now listened to the same 6 songs, and we're both going to have, I'm sure, wildly different reactions. but that's the show. That's the show.
That's the show. So I can't wait to see how these songs are actually supposed to be spoken instead of my very pathetic announcement of the 6 songs that I did a video of and sent to Chris.
Which we're going to play because I had, so by the way, if anybody else wants to commission a show, just go to the link right now. Go to Buy Me a Coffee. Use the link in the show notes, and you can buy your own version of the Chris and Amanda show. So I had said to Amanda, I said, listen, I've got Dan sent me his songs. I want to send them to you, but I want you to record your reaction to the names of the songs and the bands, and just record that, because I've said it all the time, like, oh my god, I wish I could see you when you look at some of the songs they send you, like your initial reaction. So I said, this time around, just record your reaction so we can play it on the show. And you were like such a good sport about it. You're like, yes, absolutely.
Absolutely.
It'll be hilarious. I'll definitely do it. So you sent me a video this morning of the reactions of you reading the names of the songs and the bands for the very first time. So we're gonna play that right now before we dive into this. So everybody strap in as Amanda reads the names of the songs.
This is straight from an email that I had just opened.
Yes, here we go.
We have our first commission show for the Chris and Amanda show, so I'm going to dive right into the song reveal. I have yet to see these songs yet. Okay, first one. Ora Pro Nubis Lucifer by Behemoth. Number 2, Monument by Derwegener Freiheit. Number 3, Die with Integrity by Dying Fetus. Okay, got that one. Oh, Dying Fetus. Number 4, Ultra Attempts by Alcest. Number 5, Roots of the Mountain by Enslaved. And then number 6, Egypt by Mercy Fate. Okay, some of them I could say. This is going to be a wild show.
I'm like, what? I'm dying laughing.
Oh my god, I'm dying. I'm like, I got tears. I'm like,
God.
just watching you read this, and your reaction is by far the best. And Chris checking it. Oh wow, some deep metal.
You ain't a kidding, Chris.
Yeah. So I thank you for doing that. I think you just made. I think that in itself is the show.
It was. I mean, we know. Well, anyone who's listened to our show long enough knows I can barely enunciate English. So to try and navigate that list without any preparation, I was like, well, it's just gonna be what it is.
It's gonna be what it is. But
And
you did it.
There it was.
I also love your initial reaction to saying Dying Fetus, and you're like, oh, I got it, and you're like, well, wait a second, Dying Fetus, like, what did I just
cheered
say?
myself on about Dying Fetus. I was like, yes, got it. Oh no, I didn't mean to.
Why did I say that? It's so good. Oh my gosh, it's so good. All right, so so with that, let's get into it. Once again, Dan, thank you so much for your submission. This show is all for you, buddy. So hopefully you are enjoying this wherever you are right now. Hopefully you're watching live. If not, I know you'll watch the replay. But so let's get into this. We're gonna go right in order of the way he sent this to us. That makes sense. That's good. Okay, so
let's do this.
So the first song that Dan sent us was Ora Pro Nubis Lucifer by Behemoth.
Behemoth. Okay. Make it sound so simple, Chris.
What did you say? Beowulf? Like Beowulf?
Like Beowulf. Beowulf. Like it's very similar.
Very similar. Easy to confuse.
Easy to confuse. And I was just like, when I was saying it, or a pro nobis or whatever, Lucifer. Like I could say that word.
Yeah, Lucifer.
I nailed that one.
You did nail that one.
Oh, well.
All right. So I made some notes just to give you some background. I thought it would help a little bit. And also for anybody else listening, right? So for you and for all the listeners who may not be experienced in the world of black metal or extreme metal or death metal or whatever you want to call it, but definitely a subgenre of metal, the deepest, darkest depths of metal. So this song by the band Behemoth was released off of the record The Satanist on February 3rd, 2014, Amanda.
It's that recent?
It's 2014.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and it was off of the record called The Satanist. Just so you know, the phrase Ora Pro Nubis is Latin for pray for us. So the name of this song is Pray for Us, Lucifer.
Okay.
So for anybody out there that would like to know, so Behemoth is they're considered, well, they're from Poland, so they're a Polish extreme metal band from Gdansk, formed in 1991. They're considered to have played an important role in establishing the Polish extreme metal underground. Until the late 1990s, the band played at a traditional black metal style with heathen lyrical content, but soon changed that to the occult and thematic themes written by their lead vocalist Nurgle and Christoph Azurwitz. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. With the 1999 release of Satanica, the band demonstrated their presence in the death metal scene while retaining their own signature style, characterized by a drum work of inferno and multi-layered vocals. Despite Behemoth having been labeled as death metal or thrash metal influence, Nurgle has mentioned that he does not like the band to be labeled like that.
Okay.
So little history there for you, Amanda.
Oh, it doesn't change any of my thoughts.
Yeah. So I've seen Behemoth live.
You have not.
I have seen them. I've seen them actually twice. Open
Yes.
for I've seen them with Slayer in the past, and I'm pretty sure I saw them a long time ago at Sounds of the Underground festival that that came rolling through here at some point, like in the early 2000s. Chris, don't sweat it, Amanda. I'm not certain of a few of these bands myself, but I'm a big metalhead. As I've matured, I don't listen to as much dark metal as I used to. Maybe Slayer is the hardest now.
Oh, now I'm gonna have to write down Slayer and check that out to see what Chris thinks is like toned down.
I feel like you listening to this was like totally like a world that you never knew existed at all, ever.
No. So I mean, I feel like I was prepared for it to go this way.
Right,
I
okay.
just didn't think it could go this way. So and the thing is, like, all of these songs kind of started off a little bit like bait and switch-ish, kind of, sort of.
I had a feeling you were going to say that. And that's very traditional.
I got a little cocky. I was like, oh, I got this. And then I didn't have any of it. Like, there was none of it that I had.
I think I figured out the formula. Oh, no, I did.
No. Yeah. So these are my notes on this particular song.
On Aura Pro Nubis Lucifer by Behemoth.
So it started out like I could handle it. Note 1. Note 2. How does their throat not hurt? And note 3. I think it's safe to say I would never listen to the song again. And that is where my notes have concluded for song number 1.
But you did listen to it. I like how your second note was, does his throat hurt? I think that's good, because that's very that's the mom and you going, how does his throat feel after all this?
Get him some lozenges or whatever they're called.
Yeah. Lozenges.
Lozenges.
I find your notes to be actually very rational.
Thank you.
I didn't think that you'd become a big Behemoth fan upon listening to this song.
Nope.
I will say that as far as they go, Behemoth, I've seen them. I think they're a better live band than they are on record, actually. Haven't seen them play live. I think they got a good stage show. They got a good stage presence when they play. I think the one thing you'll see thematically through all these songs is that you can hear, even though it's like really extreme, but like how talented the musicianship is in these bands. I think for the most part, I think these guys are some serious players. They play a lot of notes, Amanda.
Now that's fair. Whether I like the music or not, the ability to play at that speed, that volume, that pace, just the endurance to do that like during an entire concert would be very hard. So I do have to give them credit for that, even though it's not my style. But how their throat doesn't like.
Yeah, I wonder that myself at times. I know that they train. I know some of these guys take very good care of their voices when it comes to exercises and eating and drinking tea. Like, so, even though they seem as like evil as they are, they actually do they take their music seriously. They take the craft seriously, even though it seems a little corny at times. But they do take care of themselves because they're performing. They need to perform. This is how they make a living.
Yeah.
So I do wonder about that too, like how they keep it up. So, but I will say I like this song. One of the songs I do like from this band quite a bit is also on this record. and it's called I think it's Gabriel Blow Your Horn or something like that, and it's actually it's a really cool song. I'll get to play that for you. I'm gonna send you that one.
You have to send it to me.
Or Play Your Horn, Gabriel. I forgot what it is, but it's a pretty cool tune. So anyway, Behemoth is not a band that I necessarily like. I do not listen to Behemoth regularly. I've enjoyed seeing them live as an opening band or with a bunch of bands, but I don't actually own any Behemoth records. I don't wear their shirts or buy their merch or anything.
Better.
I think they have a cool logo. So I will say though, I do appreciate them. I appreciate what they've done in the contributions to metal.
Sure.
So I would give this song, at the end of the day, I think this song for me is, I know we don't do halves here. So I'll round it up to a 4 record song, but I would probably give it a 3.5 if we were doing the percentages, because we don't normally do percentages. Maybe a 3.6.
3.5er on this one.
It's a pretty good metal song.
Okay, so
I got a feeling you're going to give 1 records all the way down today.
Not all the way down. And you know what? I really struggle. It's hard for me to give 1 records because I just feel like anyone who actually tries and has been successful, because music business is really hard.
Right.
And I think like just because of that, just for pure effort, a 2 is is earned.
The hard-earned 2 records for you.
Yes. Now, it hurts me to put them in the same category as Billy Joel's Uptown Girl as a 2. But that's not the point. So I'm going to put Behemoth.
Beowulf. Behemoth.
I'm going to give them 2 records.
Okay.
And that's because I'm a mom.
And you care for their voice. For
Nurgle's
voice. Nargles.
It's a hard industry, so I'm going to give them a 2.
Okay. All right. That's fair. So
Okay.
4 records to your 2 records. And so
we
check
surprised?
it in. So Chris Roush, now Amanda's friends need to cough up $100 for Chris to hear some of her other music. Bring on a Taylor Swift. I actually like Taylor Swift. So
There you go.
there you go.
Oh,
And okay. Oh, cool. Oh, awesome perspective. Oh, see you, Chris. Yep. And
thanks, Chris.
Randall, who thank you so much for making the video today, Randall. Celebrating Chris and Amanda Day. Appreciate you, buddy. Saying rock on. Thank you, Randall.
Absolutely.
Appreciate
And if
it.
you want to see Randall and hear his voice that we hear very often, go to our Instagram, Facebook, or all the socials, and you can see our Randall and see his sweet message for Happy Chris and Amanda Day.
That's right.
Thanks,
Happy
Randall.
Chris and Amanda Day. All
That's
right.
always a good
So moving along here, moving right along, we've got the song Monument by Derweg Einer Freit. Obviously, German is not my second language, nor did I take any German in school. So
Which
I apologize to all German speakers out there for completely slaying that pronunciation.
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned that because I didn't realize this song wasn't in English until I looked up the lyrics. Because you barely understand the lyrics anyway.
Yes. Yeah, it's pretty extreme. And then when you realize, wait a second, this is not in our native tongue.
No, this is not. This is not. And it didn't. I was like, does that make the song better or worse? I don't know.
You couldn't make up your mind.
Couldn't make up my mind.
So
what do you think, Chris?
All right. So a little bit about Derweg Einer Freit. This is Monument comes off of this. Oh, I love your face looking at me. The song Monument comes off of their record called Nocturne, which was released November 19th, 2021, off of Season of the Mist record label. Season of Mist record label put this out. Their name in German means the way of freedom. That is their name translated.
That's lovely.
Into English from German is the way of freedom. They are a German extreme metal band from Wurzburg, formed in 2009 by Tobias Jasinski as vocalist and Nikita Kamprad as guitarist and principal songwriter. After the release of 2 studio albums, Der Weg Einer Freit, and their other one, Junstyle, Jasinski left the band in 2012 and Kamprad took over vocals. They identify with black metal, but also embrace other musical influences and lack some traditional features of the genre, such as satanical lyrical themes. They do not have the satanical lyrical themes. So they are not part of they do not follow the tradition of singing about Satan or satanic things. They are more about, I don't know, but not Satan.
The tone, the mood.
Yeah. So there was a little blurb I found from Metal Injection, which I thought was actually pretty much sums up the band. So Der Weg Einer Freit is more than just black metal. It's black metal with pulsing, hypnotizing rhythms and a bed of reflective tumult enveloped in existential contemplation. Nocturne will take you to frightening places, but with a sonic landscape that can be just as profoundly beautiful as it is morbid. That was Metal Injection's review of the record Nocturne, which is what Monument is off of. That was their review. Do you agree with that review, Amanda Sharp?
Dexter's speaking on my behalf.
I was going to say, apparently Dexter. I think Dexter agrees.
He's speaking on my behalf. Dexter, I'm trying to talk heavy metal here, black metal.
I think he wants to hear a little
he wants
Monument
to get in
right
on
now.
this. So I'll just talk real loud. Apologize for Dexter. So I can't really comment a whole lot on that because although I feel better about them not necessarily being like in that satanic zone.
Right. Lyrically, they do not do the satanic thing.
That's great. That is good to me. So, but again, it threw me off this song because the song's intro was different. Like it kind of started like it could be in a movie, like I was like, okay, this is a good like build up
cinematic.
to a suspense scene or something like that. So I had hopes for it that were very quickly shot down about 40 seconds into it because it's a really long intro. And then really the only other note I had is I don't have a lot of lengthy notes on some of these songs because they're just so too much for me. And then it's not in English and I didn't have a clue until I looked at the lyrics. So those are my only notes. This is really challenging for me. Like this is like a 45-minute playlist that I'll never give my time back in my life.
And by the way, yes, you can listen to all these songs by using the link in the notes. We made a commissioned songs playlist. So these songs are there in the order that we're talking about them. So that way you can go and hear them for yourself. If you dare.
If you dare, it's right.
Although if you're a big fan, this is going to be a great mix.
I agree. And what's very interesting is our next commissioned episode could be all country or all oldies. And so it'll play from this to that.
Yep. It could be anything.
Anything. So I'm going to have to go yell at my dog while you talk about your rating real quick.
Okay. So I'll talk about my rating while you take the time out to take care of the dog. So I had actually never really listened to this band before or really knew about them. So this was actually the first time I ever got to hear them before. Unlike Behemoth, who I've known and seen live, I'd never known about them before. So this was actually sort of a discovery for me listening to them. I listened to the song a couple times because it did have a lot of different like twists and turns in it.
Yes.
And I found it interesting from that standpoint. I think that so Amanda, you didn't really grow up with a lot of this stuff. So I remember being involved in like really listening to some really dark metal stuff. And like it used to just be like literally like that for like 2.5 minutes. And it's like, okay, because it was like, that was like the point was that it was so devoid of anything melodic or anything even resembling like a song that was the anti of that. Now it's gone from sounding like just a chainsaw for 2 minutes to like actually like having musical movements and like changes and all kinds of stuff. And I found this song to be very interesting. It's gotten me. I would like to hear more of their tunes now because like I said, I hadn't heard them before. So I found this song fairly interesting. So it was enough for me to be intrigued. I like the Behemoth song better, probably just because and I think probably because I've seen them, so I'm kind of
Sure.
like I knew what to expect a little bit more. But I'm intrigued by this band, and I will probably check out more of their catalog. So I'm gonna go with a 3 records on this song, and it's not a bad song. I need to I think I just need to hear more of their music. But I felt like this was a good, for me, a good entry into the world of Der Weg Einheit.
These names are so hard. I don't know that I have a favorite between the 2 listed so far. But with that being said, I'm going to give this one a 2 record too. And being generous, I did not know what I was listening to at all. 1, because it wasn't in English, and 2, like you said, there were so many like highs and lows and kind of trickery in it.
They were trying to trick you.
They were trying to trick me. So 2 records. Oh, and that hurts to say that. Only because of my mom.
Because you're a mom. All right. So no shocker right now on Amanda's ratings. So far, she's staying pretty even keeled with the 2 records on these songs. But I do like that you've listened to them, because that's what this is about.
Yeah,
that's why the commission is, regardless of what you send us, we're going to listen to it and we will have comments on it one way or the other.
Absolutely.
So, all right. So that was song number 2 of the commission. So my 3 records to your 2 records rating on that one.
No surprise there.
All right. So here's the one where I got a feeling Amanda's going to be giving 1 record to. So, which, once again, I think the video of you reading the name of this band and then you're realizing that you just read the name of this band might be the greatest video you've ever made that I've ever seen. So the name of this song is Die With Integrity by the band Dying Fetus, released off of the record Wrong One to F With. I'm not going to curse, so I'm going to, because we try to keep this a clean show.
That's right.
So Wrong One to F With, released on June 23rd, 2017 on Relapse Records. So there's actually a lot of notes on this for this band. So just a little history, and then we'll get into it. So Dying Fetus is an American death metal band, originally from the greater Upper Marlboro of Maryland. Formed in 1991, the group is known for their consistently hook-laden song structures characterized by blast beats, complex riffing, slam riffs, and heavy breakdowns. Additionally, their reality-based lyrics are characterized by political modern themes and which are very notable in death metal. According to founding member John Gallagher, the band name was chosen while the members were of adolescent ages and was intended to be offensive. So I say mission accomplished, Amanda Sharp.
Here you go.
Because I knew the next question. I figured, let me find that, because I know the question you're going to have is, why would someone name their band this?
Absolutely.
And you can now knock that off of your great life questions answered for you right there.
There we go. My Amanda mind needed to know.
Yes. So Metal Injection had said of the record that the Die With Integrity is on. Wrong One to F With has a ton of solid, sludgy riffs, which contrast the insane shred brought forth by the band. A perfect example of a perfect example of that is the new song, Die With Integrity, which is 5 minutes of absolute brutality that may or may not take your head clean off your shoulders.
There you have it.
Does that perfectly sum up how you feel about that song, Amanda?
Except I would do it will take your head off your shoulders. Not may or may not. It will.
It will take your head off.
It will. So we should probably have a disclaimer on our Spotify playlist for this, because watch out. These songs are not for the weak of heart.
No, they are not.
I only have 2 remarks on this song.
Okay. 2 remarks.
2 remarks. My first remark being, if Cookie Monster was singing a song, this would be it. I challenge everyone to go listen to the song and envision Cookie Monster doing his "Me Want Cookie." This is that song.
Oh, I'm gonna always,
Lyrics aside,
lyrics aside, it's Cookie Monster
this is Cookie
singing.
Monster song. And then
Okay.
my second note was no other remarks.
And I rest my case.
And I rest my case. I did write out ha ha. Like remember to laugh, Amanda. This is a fun show.
I love how you don't write yourself a note to remember this. I gotta laugh. Ha ha. Ha ha.
Smile, I know this is painful.
Okay. All right. So
Oh my gosh.
this is I've actually seen these guys play. I've seen play, I think once, a few years back, and I was really blown away by how like proficient these guys are live. Like they don't miss a single note as fast as they're playing. Like it's mind-boggling how ridiculously like tight and like just they don't miss a note. It's unreal. And they just play. They don't there's very little banter. They just go song after song. It's just like I will say this though, unlike Behemoth, and they're two different styles bands. I think you can hear the difference
Yes,
in the way and this is me, and I know this is going to be an unpopular opinion with the metal community out there, but I found them to be a very boring band to watch live. And I know I'm probably going to get tomatoes thrown at me, but so as technically proficient as they are, and I think they are great musicians, and I actually dig this song. I felt like live they were such good, but like honestly, after like 4 or 5 songs in, I was like, okay, I get it. I'm done. But you know, regardless, I admire them. They've stuck to their guns. They've been a consistent band since the 90s. I mean, to be in this game for this long and still go, and I think you'll see that with a lot of the metal bands, and especially when we get to the last band on the list here. You know, these bands have been doing it for a long time, and I definitely admire it. And I think it's a hard game to get in. It's a hard game because, as we know, metal in this country is not like the way it, especially playing this type of metal, it's got a very niche audience. So, you know, it's tough to make a living. A lot of these bands spend a lot of their time in Europe. That's where they play festivals, things like that. Anyway, getting back to the song, I do like the song. I thought it was pretty cool. Much better. I like that. Like I like Behemoth more live than on record. This I like record more than live.
Fair.
So I would give this song, for me, I would give this song 3 records. I think it's pretty good. And you know, I've listened to other Dying Fetus tracks, and they're not bad. I just live just left a little left to be desired as far as presence goes. But I'll give this 3 records. You know, they're not my favorite band in the world, but like
sure,
I accept them.
I feel like banter or that in between songs, just to have that communication a little bit.
Yeah.
If you wanted the other, it can just be the record. So I agree. I feel like there's something about having a little dialogue in between some songs. I really want to do a 1, but I'm not going to, because I gave Misfit Skulls a 2. And so I feel like this is in the same category, just based on band name and title alone. So I'm going to go with 2
Okay.
for them, but I really didn't enjoy the song at all.
You can give it a 1. Except for Cookie Monster.
Except for the Cookie Monster aspect. Right. You're never going to be able to listen to that song again without thinking, "Me want cookie." You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for now having the image. So basically, Dying Fetus equals Cookie Monster.
Equals Cookie Monster. That's all there is to it.
Okay. Well, that's a fair assessment.
So 4, number 4 song, which I don't know how to say any of it. But
I'm gonna go with so because knowing that this band is French, I was gonna go with Alceste, although I've never heard of them either, so I don't know how to properly pronounce it myself.
Okay.
I was gonna go with Alceste or Alceste, just
Alceste.
Alceste. I don't know. Maybe that I'm not not
as
100%. So I apologize to all the fans of this band out there because I just don't know how to say it properly. I should have watched an interview ahead of time just to see how they pronounce it, but I didn't do it. So sorry. I didn't do that. I didn't do the work.
And you sent me a note,
Yes.
I don't know, a couple days ago that you said, Amanda, I think you're going to like this one. And it was as if you and Dan knew I needed a little gift in the middle of this show.
Yeah. Well, I felt like and so yeah, so props to Dan because I'm going to tell you right now, Dan did put a lot of time into
Mhm.
selecting this playlist. I know that these are all bands he really likes. And I think he really wanted to put together a solid list of different, like, through the versions of metal, underground metal.
Yeah, sure.
So I know that he spent time putting this list together. So this was a good list. I will say that it's a solid list. If you
Yeah,
want a good sampling of what's going on in the underground metal scene, this is a good primer.
for sure. It was as if he's like, oh, by song 4, Amanda's gonna be real beaten down and tired. I need to give her a little something. Like when people are running the marathons, they have like the little like hip sack with
Right.
their little like gel things that they suck on.
Yeah.
Like this is this is my gel thing. This song.
That's all.
This got me through to the end of the list. So I'm curious to hear your notes on it, and then I'll jump into mine, Chris.
Okay, so yeah, so this band is French, as I said. Ator or A True Temps is the name of the song by Alcest, released on January 6th, 2012 on Prophecy Productions. I found out that the word translated into English means other times.
Hmm.
So from French to English, that is what I was able to derive. They are a French post-black metal band founded and led by Neige. Since its creation, Alcest has released 6 studio albums and a number of EPs and split releases. The band are widely credited with pioneering the black gaze post-black metal genre, particularly through their EP released La Secret, released in 2005. So, and I felt that and that's a new term I learned, black gaze. So it's a
I was
combination of shoegaze and black metal
okay.
into black
I
gaze.
didn't know
So
what it meant.
yeah, so I found that to be a very interesting combo of words, and it makes sense after listening to this. What I loved about this song, I think the clean vocals were cool. I think the song, I felt like I was on a journey. It made me think
Mhm.
of Lord of the Rings,
Mm,
um, very elven.
yeah.
I really liked it. I liked the song a lot. This may be one of my favorite songs that Dan had sent. Never heard these guys before either. So this was all new to my ears listening to these guys. So I'm absolutely want to dive in to more of their catalog now after having heard this song. And I love that they've got that shoegaze feel to them. So this was a very, very cool song. Definitely one of my favorites on this list. So I'm giving this one a 4 records for sure.
I like that. So my notes on this, I really liked the beginning. It was just good. It was
Mhm.
good. It was long. I was very intrigued what was going to come next. I wasn't sure. I was like, they're
Yeah,
going to get
you were
me.
waiting.
They're going to get me. And I didn't feel like they did. I felt like I could breathe a little during this song. Their vocals were good.
Mhm.
And the minute they started singing, I was like, "Oh, thank God." Like, I just needed some, like, normal hearing for a minute. Um, Even though it wasn't in English, I felt like I could relate more to
Right.
the sound of this
Mhm.
and understanding kind of what they were trying to get across without
Right.
even knowing what the words meant or anything like that. So, it was interesting because with the other song not being in English, I just thought I just couldn't understand what they were saying. No, the
Right.
words were just not English. So, I actually really like this song.
I
And
thought you would.
I'm interested, like you said, to listen to more of that sound and see where it lands with me.
Mhm.
So, my rating on this one, I was excited to give it a 4 record.
Oh, look at you. You and I are tied on this
Look
one.
at this. So, Dan, good song choice.
There you go. Amanda getting sucked into the Alcest?
Again, sorry.
Yeah. Amanda being sucked into the black gaze post-black metal genre.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. It was good though. It
Yeah,
was good. So again,
cool.
good Good choice, Dan. I like it.
Randall. Wow, 4 records.
Yeah, I surprised myself.
So analysis record sales go up today, and they're going to see a spike because of Amanda's endorsement.
Chris, could you imagine if one day we're big enough that actually means something? That would be so fun.
That would be amazing.
All
All right.
moving on.
Moving on. So 2 left here from Dan's playlist. So fifth song here is Roots of the Mountain by the band Enslaved, who are a Norwegian extreme metal band formed by Ivar Bjornsson and Grunnel Kilson in June of 1991. The band's music draws heavily on the Viking culture and religious heritage of their home country of Norway for inspiration, and most of the band's lyrics relate to Norse mythology. So there you go, Amanda. Once again, no Satan.
I dig it.
You're free from Satan. This record was released on September 28th, 2012, and the name of the record is RIITIIR, which is Norseified take on the words rites and rituals, or rights of man, and rituals from the central concept of the album. The album received mostly positive reviews from music critics and sold around 2,300 copies in its first week of release in the United States, which made it their highest debuting album to date in terms of sales.
So they're a tiny band.
Yeah. The BBC described the album as a complex schizophrenic work verging on the overly sensorial points, leaving the listener feeling as if they've been repeatedly bashed over the head with a cleaver hammer. It's marked by sudden shifts in tempo, disposition, propelled by unhinged rhythms. Check the title's main track. I can't. I should not copy and paste some notes sometimes. Anyway. The last part of this is Larson's clean vocals dominate the album, imbuing its 8 tracks with a sheen of accessibility that may test the tolerance of some.
I don't think saying that it's like being hit over the head with a meat cleaver is fair, because if I could handle this song, then that's not accurate. I have yet to say that about one of these songs.
That you feel like you've been hit in the head with a meat cleaver?
How dare they? How dare
they?
Criticize Enslaved.
Look at Amanda getting all like sticking up for Enslaved.
Jeez. No, that's interesting. I like that they're kind of like the folklorish type history, roots. I enjoyed that. So I only have a couple notes.
Okay.
My very first one is, if a strobe light had a sound, this would be the sound a strobe light would make. You know what I'm saying in the beginning?
I know what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying. I think that's an astute observation on your point.
It's either we're being abducted by aliens or it's a strobe light. One of the two.
One or the other.
Yeah, y'all can take your pick. But those are your options. And so I don't dislike it. It just has a lot of highs and it has a lot of lows. Like, it's not bad, but it is.
Right. Okay.
I'm really conflicted, and I listened to it a couple times. So it'll be interesting to see if I shy away from it a little bit more or like it a little better as I hear it again. Because I'm not sure.
The first time I heard this, I wasn't that into it. But I listened to it again, and upon the second listening, I got a little more into it. I felt it was a little too all over the place at first. I was like, wow, they're really trying to jam a lot into the song. And I was having a hard time tracking with it. But then after listening to it again, I don't know, I kind of was starting to hit me a little bit differently, and I started enjoying it a little bit more. I don't know if I could truly say, though, I think this, I don't know. I'm a little split on this song. Like I said, I like it better having listened to it now 2-3 times than I did the way it hit me the first time.
Yeah.
So I think with that, I'm going to give it 3 records, and it may go up, but I think I need to, I actually, it's got me tempted enough to check out more Enslaved music. That's definitely the pull I feel. I want to hear more now.
Yes. Like if ADHD was put into a music, like it's very distracted, and I couldn't quite, like you said, the second time that I listened to it, I was gathered a little bit better, but it is just so over the place that I had a hard time like staying focused on the song itself.
Right.
but at the same time, it's so in your face, you can't ignore it.
Right.
It's so conflicting. But with that being said, I gave it 3 records. I did not think it was fair to put it in the same lane as song 1 and song 2.
I can agree with that. Well, song 1, I thought the Behemoth. I thought that. Well, I like the Behemoth song. I
You
think.
like them, yeah.
Yeah, I do like that one. But I'm definitely like intrigued by this band. I don't think they're a band I've spent a lot of time with in the past. In fact, I was trying to think about like, have I really heard any Enslaved songs? I think it's a band I've known about that, but never really like listened to them.
Sure.
So it's gotten me enough where I go, well, I'd like to hear some other Enslaved songs. So
For sure.
3 records for sure. Maybe move it up to a 4, but right now I'm good at a 3.
So song 4 and song 5, we rated the same.
We're lock and
Look at
step.
this.
Look at this.
Look at
this. Amanda
Look
Sharp.
at it.
All right. So
I mean,
what were
I'm
you gonna
warming
say?
up here.
no, I'm like, wow, I think you're like you sound like a true metalhead now.
Cookie Monster and all.
Cookie Monster and all. Whoa.
You want cookie? So song number 6.
Song number 6. Okay, so I was excited to see this on the list. And I got to talk to you a little bit about this, Amanda. So the name of this band, these guys are a legendary band. Like the forefathers of like just more like extreme metal, thrash metal. Merciful Fate is the name of this band. And they are fronted by the one and only King Diamond, who also has had a very prolific solo career. I have seen King Diamond at least like 3 or 4 times live. It
so
is
cool.
truly an amazing show. Every time it is so theatrical. It's like macabre theater and it's over the top. It's fun. He kills every time. He's always got an amazing band with him. Merciful Fate is a legendary band. They set the mold of like just doing things that like people weren't doing around that time. They were dark. They came, they definitely their first few records were very satanic themed. This record actually marked a departure away from the satanic theme that went more of the horror realm, which is a lot of King Diamond's records, all his solo records are like ghost stories and they're all rooted in like horror. So you could literally take the lyrics and like you could make a film out of them. They're all like horror. They all play out as horror movies and mostly center around like ghost stories or like, cursed witches. And like, it's it's the genre and it works. So this record in particular took a lot of that influence. So this song Egypt is literally about Egypt and like the mysticism and the occult of Egypt and all that. So remember when we talked about Ghost?
Yes.
And we talked about Ghost a few times on the show. So Merciful Fate. So everybody says this. Ghost is very, even though it doesn't sound like it, Ghost is very heavily influenced by Merciful Fate in the sense of like they took the poppier, more melodic parts of Merciful Fate and then, obviously refined that side more. But even their look and the way Papa dresses up as the satanic Pope, King Diamond is the original like dressing, like he's one of the OGs of like dressing up with the makeup and like
Sure.
upside down cross and all this like satanic imagery and all that. So if you do a little read, you'll see like, and you put them side by side, you see where all the influence is and sort of how Ghost has taken it and sort of appropriated it a little bit and all that. Anyway, so I was excited to see this because I am a Merciful Fate fan. I like Merciful Fate a lot. I think they're just an amazing band. They're definitely a Halloween band for me too. Like every time October comes around, like, oh, Merciful Fate, King Diamond, gotta get into it. So I love this song, Egypt. So yeah, this, and just so everybody knows too, so for a little quick history about Merciful Fate, about this record, In the Shadows was released in 1993, June 6th on the classic Metal Blade Records. In the Shadows is a third full-length studio album by Danish heavy metal band Merciful Fate. It is a first offering of the band since the reunion in 1992. The album was released in 1993 on Metal Blade Records, as I said. Unlike previous Merciful Fate records, which were entirely centered around lyrical themes of Satanism and the occult, the lyrics on this album are focused more on conceptual horror themes akin to King Diamond's work with his solo band. The band would not return to the primarily occult satanic lyrical approach until the band's latest album, 9, which was released in 1999.
They've been around a while.
So they went back to the Satan stuff after they took a little break. You know, Satan needed more, so they made more satanic songs. But
I don't know what to say to that. Do I say good for them, or I don't know, Chris. So conflicted.
I'm so conflicted. I guess good for them. I
I
don't,
guess everyone has their niche.
I don't know.
You
But
stay
anyway,
there? I don't.
I really like this record a lot. I like this song a lot, but I'm not going to give my rating until you go. I want to hear your assessment of Egypt
don't-
by Merciful Fate.
I don't have a ton of notes. Other than this sounded like more of an 80s rock band than any of the other songs.
Absolutely.
And for that, I could kind of appreciate it. I felt a little bit more comfortable with the dynamic of it,
Mhm.
as opposed to some of the other songs. So it was like an 80s, but a little worse. Like, like it didn't quite get me there, but I could understand it. Some of the song was not bad.
Okay. Yeah, I thought that you might like because there's still a lot of melody, like
There a lot
in
of
their stuff.
melody.
Yeah.
Yes. And so the actual, I don't know if it would be the chorus because I had a hard time like following a lot of it, but like the chorus itself wasn't bad.
Right.
And very like safe sounding.
Yeah. It's borderline catchy and hooky.
Very much so. But I didn't like the lyrics.
Okay. Yeah, and that's and listen, it's like I said, his lyrics are very he tries to really tell like a story, and sometimes and this record wasn't conceptual because he's got a thing like I said, a lot of his solo records are conceptual. So a song is a part of the story
Sure.
being told. This one's a little bit more like each song is sort of self-contained. So,
Sure.
Egypt is like, it's about Egypt and like
Yeah.
some of the more mysterious occulty side of things, like if you're into that.
It's hey, Egypt has a lot of history.
It does.
It
And
does.
King Diamond is singing about him.
Very much. But you know what? If it would have replaced the lyrics with something else,
Mhm.
I probably would have been okay.
Yeah.
It really would have. So
Okay.
it wasn't enough to like knock it down a ton and put it
Mhm.
in the same category as like again song 1 and 2. But I'll give it 3 records.
Okay. I think that's very respectable. I think Merciful Fate is one of those bands that, like I said, has had a very big influence on the scene overall. I think even after listening to this as like sort of like 80s metal or
Mhm.
early 90s metal as they are, like I feel like you can still hear that what they do carried over into some of these other bands, just
Sure.
from a foundational standpoint. Because they were definitely one of the pioneers of it, and definitely that pushing that image and being a little bit more like extreme in that sense. And so I've always appreciated that, though, that they've just been like, you know what, we do what we do, and we have our fans, and we're good with that. And I think that's and they're still doing stuff. I mean, King Diamond is still
That's amazing.
doing things, and he's survived some heart surgery stuff, and and I know it seems like these guys are like whatever, but a lot of times you hear the stories of like what they're really like, and
Yeah.
and the things that they do for their communities and the
Yes.
charities they're involved in, and these guys are mostly all families, so it's like there's that showbiz side, and then there's
Absolutely.
the person. So
Yeah, like how I love Ozzy.
right, how you love Ozzy, exactly. But I like this song. I like this record a lot. Actually, I thought it was a really good return to form for this band after they'd been gone for a little bit. They took a hiatus off the first couple records. So yeah, I would give this. This is definitely a 4-record song for me.
Okay.
It's not my favorite Merciful Fate song of all time, but it's a really good one, and I really highly recommend this record. I mean, there's other like Melissa is like amazing. They've got Don't Break the Oath. Those are like the classic stuff from the first record. I think it's Merciful Fate, something like that. But it's definitely check them out. But I think this is a good entry into the band if you want to just like kind of dip your toe into it before you get into the Saint and stuff.
I'll let my toe be in the water a little bit longer before I put like a foot in there. This was an episode.
Amanda, you surprised me. I thought for sure you were definitely gonna give a 1 record, at least to Dying Fetus. I thought Dying Fetus was getting 1 record. I was like, that is 100% a 1 record for you. But
You
You
know,
did it. You surprised me. You
I
surprised me.
wanted to, but I had to reflect in our recent episodes and our past episodes and the scoring of those, and I just didn't think it'd be fair to Misfits if I
Right.
gave them a a 1.
So the Misfits, Dying Fetus, and Billy Joel Uptown Girl are all in the same category.
Are in level 2. But Dan, thank you again for the very thoughtful playlist that exposed us both to different music than what we were listening to.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna play this graphic again because I was so happy I made it.
I
So the
know.
thank you, Dan, for uh commissioning a show today. We really appreciate you so much. Like really, this was outstanding, and we really had a ton of fun putting this together. So thanks so much for sharing that list with us and doing that because it was really great. And so if to that point, if anybody else out there would like to commission a show of the Chris and Amanda show, all you have to do is use the link in the notes. Head over to our Buy Me a Coffee. You'll see the extras tab there, and you can commission your own show. You get to pick up to 6 songs to send us, whatever you want. Mix it up, whatever. It could be all genre, could all be
Yeah,
metal, like how Dan did, or you can mix it up, whatever you want to do. That's the point. Is that we're going to be exposed to hopefully things that we haven't really heard before, which is always interesting because, like I said, I've listened to a ton of metal. There was at least two, 3 bands on this list I really didn't
for
listen
sure.
to. So it was cool to hear that. So definitely we would love you to commission a show.
Absolutely. And we went way over, but
Yeah,
there was a lot to be discussed on this episode.
there
So
was, there was. And so this is what happens when you commission an episode. We want to bring it. We
we
bring the
want to bring
value.
it. We want to bring it. It just happened to be that Owen had today off, so I could stay a little extra.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's why I was at home with the barking dog. Sorry, everyone. Barking at nothing.
Barking at
Nothing,
nothing
Chris.
and nothing. So
Nothing.
that
No
happens.
mail, no nothing.
That's what my dog does too. But he's
Oh,
downstairs, so
yeah, but
he'll do the
Milo's
same
cute
thing.
at
Yeah.
it. Well, good show, Chris.
Very good show. And yeah, so thank you so much, Dan, for selecting those songs. And that was a lot of fun to do. So that just about wraps it up for us here today. Thank you all so much for watching live with us here, wherever you've been watching, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. We
Mhm.
appreciate each and every one of you. Of course, you can always watch the replay, especially on YouTube. That's where all of the past episodes are, video versions are. And if you're listening to this on whatever place you get podcasts, make sure you hit that follow or subscribe button so that way you get notified every time a new audio version is dropped. Because as we do the video version, the audio versions come out and are available on all places where you can listen to podcasts. We'll be back with another exciting episode of the Chris and Amanda Show next week, where I guess things are back to normal. Unless
Back
somebody
to
commissions
normal.
another show, we're going to be back
Absolutely.
to
We'll be
3
ready.
songs and 3 songs. We'll be ready.
We'll be ready.
Yeah. Any final words?
No, this again just was a really great show. Enjoyed it. Glad I got yet again exposed to different music I never would have listened to otherwise. And that's the whole point of this show. So thank you everyone who tuned in, and thank you, Chris, and thank you, Dan.
Yes. Thank you guys so much. We love you. We appreciate you. And we will see you next Monday for another episode of the Chris and Amanda Show. Bye.
Bye.